Let's change something real quickly. Looks pretty good. I'm here. Don't know if that makes it perfect, but it looks fairly good. Yeah. Oh yeah. Hello, Sherry. Sherry 20,000. I wonder what the 20,000 stands for. Hello, user. Hello, Lori. Hello. Nobody else is joining. I'm running out of air. I started expecting, hello, Brenna, somebody else to hop on. And I started going, hello. And I kept holding it till somebody else joined. And all of a sudden there was like 10 seconds of nobody joining. And I was running out of air kind of quickly and it got uncomfortable. So I had to call it quits. And I am so appreciative that Brenna hopped on. And hello from Grass Valley, California. User, why do you not have a real name? I think on day one. I've been on TikTok since November 16th of over 2 years ago. Hello, Diane. I think probably, and I was somewhat familiar with social media. I think one of the first things I probably did was give my page or give my profile or whatever you want to call it a name. And the name I chose was Coffee with Ken. Good afternoon, good afternoon, good afternoon to you. My name is Ken Tracy, and this is the aforementioned Coffee with Ken. It's a little show I started about 4.5 years ago. I love my smooth transition. Rarely do I do it so smoothly, and I was excited. Hello, Jennifer. Thank you for joining. But again, this is a show I started, it'll be 5 years ago in June. And this is my dog, Holly, by the way. She likes getting pets while I'm doing my show. She's not always here, but she's usually here when I'm doing it. Hello, Todd Van Sickle. But anyway, this was a show. Hello, Digital Micah. Maybe I should finish welcoming Craig, Kobe. Is that a Nikki? I'm 50. Hello, Dennis. I'm 55 years old, so I kind of need my reading glasses. That brings me up a totally different subject. Hello, Atwood. Thank you for joining. I used to be a kind of slave to my reading glasses, and I started needing them probably in my mid to late 40s, and almost was scared to go anywhere without them. And now I almost never wear them. And I don't believe it's because my vision has gotten better. I'm going to guess I'm doing less reading. I've gone out to dinner less and tried to read menus in dim settings. I don't know why it is, but I used to wear my reading glasses all the time, and now I don't, months at a time. And again, I don't believe it's because my vision's better. I think just the uses I have and maybe reading the newspapers happens less or what have you. Or reading books, maybe. Maybe I've forgotten how to read. Nikki wants to know, where do I live? I live in the beautiful city/town of Naperville, Illinois. It's a town of about 150,000 people, about 35 miles west, a little bit south, a little bit west of Chicago. And again, this is Coffee with Ken. This is a show I started 4.5 years ago. It'll be 5 years ago in June. At a time in my life where I was struggling, I was feeling bad, I had a bad inner voice, I was just kind of feeling crappy overall. And I realized talking about my stuff made me feel a little bit better, whether it was to a friend or to a therapist. And one day I said, hey, I wonder if anyone would care about what I have to say. And I started doing it live on Facebook, honestly, and have been doing it fairly regularly ever since. And here we are 5 years in, and I'm on a bunch of different social media platforms and having a lot of fun. Hey, 1 of 5 followed the live creator. Thank you so much for following the live creator. Again, I said at the start of the show, good morning, Abe. I had been doing this on TikTok since November 16th, just over 2 years ago. And my page grows a little bit every day. And about a year ago, I set a goal by April 1st to hit 10,000 followers on TikTok. And at the time, I was at about 6,000. And I thought, okay, just keep plugging along. And at that time, I think I had one of my videos go viral. And I was picking up, subscribers left and right. And but since then, it's kind of flattened out. And sometimes in life, we flatten out. Sometimes in life, we don't improve or grow or make progress in a straight line. It kind of goes up and down. And sometimes it flattens, and sometimes it, goes vertical or goes, I don't know what expression. I'll just say goes vertical. I think there was a better expression to say than that. But anyway, so I've kind of hung out, and I'm still not at 10,000. I'm still not at 10,000 subscribers, but I'm at about 9,500, so I can almost taste it. And the sad thing is, over on YouTube, where I post a lot of videos as well, I'm at about 2,400 subscribers, and I just decided my goal over there was to hit 100,000. And I think 100,000 subscribers would be cool. And, they pay you over there. You get monetized. You probably make a lot of money if you hit 100,000 subscribers. But what I really like it for is they give you like a silver plaque that says you accomplished 100,000 subscribers. And I've been in a couple different sales jobs in my life. I was a stockbroker for 10 years, and that kind of ruined me, I think, for money. Because I made a lot of money, but I wasn't happy in life. And I realized about 6-7 years ago that I hated what I was doing. I hated my life. I don't even know. I was just doing it for money. And didn't find it as much of a motivator. Became a realtor and did that for 17 years, and left that about a year ago. And been diving into a bunch of different things ever since. I currently stay at home with my two beautiful babies, and want to be a full-time content creator. Hey, thank you so much for sending me the TikTok, Ron Carter. I so appreciate that. He sent me 10 of them. Hello, Ann Banan. Hello, Big Time. And Ron Carter followed the live creator. What a sweet man. Not only did he step in, send me 10 TikToks right away, but he followed the live creator, and I think that's so awesome. Again, I really appreciate that. And I know a lot of people work hard doing this, and I honestly think I work pretty hard doing this. I believe that I have a message of sobriety, mental health, financial highs and lows. I think I have a message, and I'm not totally sure what that message is on a day-by-day basis, because it changes depending on how I feel. But anyway, for those that have been watching a while, you know it's not just a show about me talking. You know it's also a show about me sharing my love of coffee. And with that in mind, I got a nice hot cup of coffee. I'll tell you what, it's been sitting in the coffee pot for quite some time. I made it 9:30 today. And hey, Ron Carter just sent me 4 pumpkin spice lattes. I could use a fresh pumpkin spice latte. Instead, I'm going to drink a rather stale but hot hazelnut coffee. So my hope is that wherever you are, whatever you're doing, that you got a hot cup of coffee in front of you as well. Cheers to us. Ron Carter, thank you so much for stopping by and the gifts. Just Todd Music, thank you for joining. Wow, that coffee tasted good. I was a little concerned that it would taste burnt or stale or... Stand with Stray asked if I've ever been to prison. No, I've never been to prison. I've never been to prison. There's a golf course. There's a fairly famous prison not too far from where I live named Joliet Prison. It was pretty maximum security. If you ever saw the movie, and this is an old movie, Blues Brothers, they went there, and that's why one of them was called Joliet something or other. But again, it's held a lot of fairly bad dudes. I think John Wayne Gacy might have done a stint there, and some other guys. This doesn't have a great story in it. I think they closed most of it maybe 15 years ago, and they now give tours. And I've never even taken a tour of the prison. I think that might frighten me. But I've golfed at a golf course that overlooks it and was right by it. On my honeymoon of my first wife, I went to San Francisco. We took a boat around Alcatraz, but I've never actually been in a prison, I don't believe. Stand with Stray says they're commenting from prison. Okay. Do you have full access to the internet while in prison? My knowledge of prison is fairly limited. Drawing a blank on the movie. Full access, minimum security. Well, welcome aboard. I think that'd be a struggle. I never even stayed the night. I was arrested once in my life. I got a DUI about 5 years ago, and went to jail in Naperville while they checked me in and did Shawshank Redemption is what I was thinking. Ryan and Greg Plitt, thank you. I was thinking Shawshank Redemption, and prison looks pretty scary. And I bet it is pretty scary, even minimum security. I don't know. I think it'd be hard for me. I don't know. I guess I'm pampered or spoiled or enjoy my freedom or enjoy petting my dog. And I think it'd be hard for me. Even though Stand with Stray says you get steak twice a month in prison. Kind of reminds me, I went to University of Illinois, I graduated in 1990. A lot of people, when they went to college, would complain about the food. I thought the food at school was great. My mother, bless her soul, was a little overmatched. She had 4 children. She was never a great cook, and we were fed. But I wouldn't say the quality of the cuisine was super high. So when I went to college and got into the dorms and was fed hot and fairly quality food, I was very, very pleased. I think we got lobster at least once a month, which seems surprising to me. But I'm pretty sure it happened. It was a long time ago. Maybe I'm imagining it. But anyway, Abe, my mother grew up in Scotland, and I don't think they really know much about cooking there. And again, I visited Scotland a number of times, but I thought it was one of the most beautiful places I've ever been. We went to Edinburgh. She grew up just outside of Edinburgh, and what a beautiful, beautiful town with old buildings and old castles and just so much to see. But the one thing about Britain one of the things that stands out to me was the food wasn't very good outside of the fish and chips. But so I'm going to drink a little more coffee. I'm feeling a little sluggish this afternoon. By the way, I'm using a baby book for anyone that doubts that I have 2 little babies that are sleeping upstairs. I've got a 2.5-year-old named Augie. He's my little nugget of love, and I have just over 1-year-old named Eve, and she's my little angel, and they're beautiful, and they're sleeping. And although I love playing with them, I love smiling with them, I love feeding them, I love being their dad, I certainly love when I lay them down successfully for a nap. Lay them down successfully for a nap. And today I made it to noon. And That feels pretty good. That feels like a big win. Sometimes I'll get fussing at 10:30, and I'll lay them down, and they'll sleep for half an hour, and then they'll get up, and my day will be hectic. But today we made it to noon. I just fed them lunch. I changed their diapers. I put them down with their babas. They should be out for 2 or 3 hours. And that just feels really, really good to this stay-at-home dad. Stand with Stray says, it's so awesome you get to be there with the littles. Yeah, no, it is, Abe. Abe, I don't even, what's your real name, Anon? I know you're not Abe. Abe is your husband. Stand with Stray, are you sitting on stacks with all due respect? I don't know what you mean when you ask if I'm sitting on stacks. And he asked me again. Does anyone else out there? Stand with Stray keeps asking if I'm sitting on stacks. And I don't know what that means. I don't even know what that means. Is that minimum security prison lingo? Oh, no, I'm not rich. I am not rich at all. I've been rich. I've been broke. And I'm just kind of bouncing along right now, working my way towards tomorrow. And not overly concerned with tomorrow or what tomorrow brings. But I do know if I keep working on myself, keep going to the gym, keep praying at nights, keep loving on my babies, keep working on my own mental health, and keep moving forward, that life's going to be really good. It's all self-improvement. Yeah. And I read somewhere or heard somewhere people should work harder on themselves than they do at their job. And I think so many of us go to work and do our job and work hard, but we come home and, I don't know, we drink alcohol or we do drugs or we cheat on our wives or we eat unhealthy or, we lose touch with our spiritual self. And I know for me, there was periods in my life where I would do that. And about 4.5 years ago, when I started Coffee with Ken, I'd recently broken up with a woman of my dreams who ended up becoming my wife. I was missing my dog, my family, my kids, my patio, the cool house we had, and was living in a dark apartment. And I realized I had a very negative voice inside my head. And I'd lived with it all my life. No matter what I was doing or where I was going, I was kind of dreading the moment I was in and the moment that was coming. And I would hear myself, again, I never realized it till, again, 4.5 years ago. And I woke up one day and the voice inside my head said, "You suck, you're ugly, you're a failure, you're a loser, nobody likes you." And I go, wow, that's pretty mean. I got to change that. And that's really what Coffee with Ken's all about. My little journey from where I was coming up on 5 years ago to where I am today and where I'm going to be in 5 or 10 years, hopefully still doing this show, hopefully with a bigger audience, hopefully feeling good, loving myself and forgiving myself. And yeah, so that's what Coffee with Ken's all about, my little adventure, my little journey down the path that is life. Sometimes I'll be outside. Sometimes I'll do it. What is top line revenue for Coffee with Ken? Ken, I think you need a seed investment for Coffee with Ken. What is top line revenue? J-Ball, I have so little revenue created from Coffee with Ken. I was thinking about it a year and a half ago when I was getting out of real estate. I was talking to my boss at the time, and I was telling him, he watches me on various social networks, and I was telling him how much I made a month, and he kind of laughed and goes, "Wow, you need to be making, 100 times that a month to even think about it." And he might have been right, but that's not the way I work. I think the hardest dollar you make is that very first dollar. And once you make that first dollar, it's almost just math and running the numbers. And you get 1,000 subscribers on a social media network, and they might pay you $30 for that month. And you go, well, I can't do too much with $30, but maybe $3,000 a month would be, something. So what do I got to do to get to $3,000 a month? And I'm not even there yet. But I'm working my way through it. And Just Todd Music says also you have to love what you do. You're right about that, Just Todd. You've been watching my show for a while. I do this without the financial incentive. I do a first sip video where I wake up in the morning. I tend to have an active mind. I drink my first sip of coffee, and I just kind of ramble for, 8-9 minutes. I do a video when I leave the gym most days where I go live, and it's thoughts from the gym. Again, when I'm working out, I'll have a bunch of interesting thoughts, and I'll kind of chart my progress, if you will, for anyone that wants to follow. I know how good it makes me feel working out, my body and my mind, and I'm hoping, somebody jumps on my little adventure and starts working on themselves. I stopped drinking just over 2.5 years ago, about just over 2 years ago. I don't know, 2 years and 3 months or something like that. And that's been a huge change in my life. I think I've always struggled with anxiety, and I always dealt with it with drinking. And that's a bad way to deal with mental health issues. Bad way to deal with mental health issues. And again, stopped drinking about it'll be 2.5 years ago in a few months, and feels real good. And again, life's not perfect for me now. I caution people but life's better, and I'm better, and I feel proud as I lay my head down at night each night that I'm doing it sober, and that I know I won't wake up at 3 a.m. feeling kind of that crappy hungover feeling that I used to wake with so often. And so I hop on live as often as I can. I do it about once a day. My wife works about 4 days a week. On those 4 days, I stay at home with my two beautiful babies, and I go live when I do. So I'm gonna drink a little more coffee. 610 Gritty says they're gonna start drinking in about 2.5 minutes if this doesn't get any better. Well, get to the fridge, Gritty. Get yourself a drink, because this is as good as it gets. This is what it is. This is what it is. It's so funny. I laugh when people say things like that, and I think there was a time in my life that would have hurt my feelings. And I have a lot of ideas and a lot of thoughts, and I think they're pretty good. And I used to tell them to my family or tell them to my friends, and they wouldn't see my vision or see my dream in the same way I did. And it would frustrate me because, I don't know, they just wouldn't have my vision or dream. And I learned that I don't need everyone to love my content. I don't need everyone to agree with my ideas or believe in me or what have you for it to make a difference. I'm hoping I can touch somebody somewhere, and if I do, it made a difference, and I know that I am. Do have some lonely Yingling in the fridge. Well, go get it, 610 Gritty. Cheers to you. I've got all the alcohol. I think there might be a bottle of booze somewhere in a freezer. And there's also a little mini, my wife still drinks occasionally, but not very often at all. She bought a little baby champagne for New Year's and didn't drink it. It's still in the fridge. Feels good. It feels good, because there would have been most of my life when I was drinking. The biggest issue for me, besides feeling yucky and feeling regret and feeling stupid a lot of times when I woke up, is just not having the urge to go to the fridge and crack a beer. I can't tell you how freeing that is, no longer wondering when I'm going to have my next beer. And it just feels so good. And so I now drink a lot of coffee, although I drank a lot of coffee before. So here's to us. Oh, I do want to say this. I almost didn't hop on today. I'm feeling pretty full. For those that have been watching a little bit, about a week and a half ago, I joined a gym about 5 months ago. And one of my goals at the time, wanted to get stronger, wanted to be able to do a pull-up. I've gotten stronger, I can do a pull-up, but I also wanted to lose 10 pounds. And I'd realized after 5 months of working out hard at the gym, I hadn't lost a pound. And I did a video going, hey, how bad do I really want it? Maybe I'm just throwing that goal out for fun, and maybe I really don't care about it. But I think I was going about dieting the wrong way. And about a week and a half ago, I was sitting at Starbucks and realized that I felt hungry. And it was kind of a strange feeling for me. And I wanted to get up and satisfy the hunger and go eat something, eat a donut, eat a sandwich, eat a cookie, eat something so I wouldn't be hungry. And instead of doing that, I thought for a moment and I said, hey, maybe I should stop fighting this feeling of hunger and I should enjoy it. Because what hunger means is you got an empty tummy and your body's working to find energy to keep you moving. And once your tummy's empty, and I'm not a doctor and I'm not a dietitian, but this is my belief. Once your tummy's empty, the easiest thing for your body to digest is the fat that you have on your body. And I've had about 10 pounds of weight that I don't need around my midriff over the last year or so. And I tried to exercise it off, although I knew exercising, you can't really exercise weight loss because you eat a Big Mac, that's 700 calories. You got to, run 6-7 miles to do it. That's hard. So the best way is cutting back. And I realized I really like eating what I want to eat. And but I also know I'm a little bit OCD. And when I'm into something, I can be into it big time. So a week and a half ago, when I felt those little initial pangs of hunger, I decided instead of satiating the hunger and filling my tummy, is to look at it in a different perspective and change my mindset about hunger and start enjoying it. And figured the longer I sustained that hunger feeling, the more my body would turn and start digesting the fat cells that I didn't want around my tummy. And over the last week and a half, instead of counting calories and feeling guilty when I'm eating ice cream or what have you, and I did have 2 bowls of ice cream last night, I count the number of hours I spend with feelings of hunger each day. This morning, I started feeling hungry about 8 o'clock. I didn't eat anything till 11:30 this afternoon, and I'm very full right now. My tummy's full. I'm feeling comfortable. I'm feeling like laying down on the couch and resting just because, again, I think your body doesn't work very efficiently when all the effort is being put into digesting what's in your stomach. So I think your body operates more efficiently when it's slightly hungry. And I think your body's going to burn the fat that you don't need to be carrying around when you're feeling a little bit of hunger. And probably my biggest benefit is I get to eat whatever I want when I eat. I just am not constantly eating, and I'm not, if I feel hunger, I look at it as a positive and not as a negative. And really confident I'm going to drop the 10 pounds in a matter of 2 or 3 months. So why did I work at Target? Zakinski asked. Multiple divorces, left real estate about a year ago, didn't know what I wanted to do for a career, to be honest with you. Had a lot of expenses that needed covered, and it's funny because the Target pay did not fully cover them. But it was the first job I got after leaving real estate, and I thought maybe I could work my way up the ladder and move into corporate and become CEO someday. And I was so excited about working there at first, and I wanted to make a difference, and I wanted to make my store the best store in the world and make the aisle that I worked in the best aisle in the world. But I do not think being an employee is what I'm meant to do. Because I am a big thinker and have big ideas, and maybe they're not always right, but they're my ideas. Target's doing just fine without me. So left there in September and have been focusing on content creation and loving on my babies since that time. And that's what I'm doing. Hello, Josh. How are you? I'm just about to sign off, Josh. Been talking for about a half hour. My babies have been sleeping for about 45, 50 minutes. I might have another hour and a half of that to look forward to, and I am looking forward to that. But I got some work to do around the house. I talk a lot about this. You eat an elephant one bite at a time. With 5 kids in the house and a dog and cats and what have you, my house gets pretty messy from time to time. And most mornings I come down, I feel overwhelmed, and I go, what the heck am I going to do? And I say, I'm going to get my coffee, and I'm going to keep putting one foot in front of the other and do a little bit here and a little bit there. And before long, the house is starting to look better, and I get a little momentum, and I get excited. And, by the end of the day, I have it clean. And then it starts over again the next morning. But anyway, a little more coffee. I'm hoping I repost these videos as shorts and reels and TikToks on various social media platforms. I spend a couple hours a day going back and watching these lives and editing them, because I found if I talk enough, every once in a while something of value comes out, and I can cut it into a reel or a TikTok that gets seen by thousands and thousands of people. And I'll tell you what, that feels really good. And a lot of my, again, videos, I believe, make a difference. And that's what I'm hoping to do. I'm 55 years old. I probably got 30 years left on this planet, and I'd like to make a difference. So I guess I'm going to leave you with that. I want to thank anybody that followed my page. Thank anybody that hopped on and watched my show today. I so appreciate you guys. I hope your Wednesday's going well, your week's going well, that you're feeling good. You're living in the moment, because it's so easy to be anticipating what's coming tomorrow or next week or next month. And happiness and contentment is now. And if our mind's in the past or in the future, it's almost impossible to be content or be okay or be happy. So I'd encourage you to try your best to be in the moment. And again, just work on yourself and try and get a little better today, and maybe get a little better tomorrow. And hopefully, again, you follow my page and follow my journey, and maybe start a journey of your own. So anyway, again, I want to thank you guys so much for joining. I appreciate you. I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful day. I hope you're feeling good. I hope you're loving yourself. I hope you're forgiving yourself. And as always, I hope to talk to you soon. Bye-bye.